My name is Dawn Booker, 28, and if you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have told you my life was finally coming together. Not perfect, nothing ever is, but stable, predictable in the best way. I had a career I built from the ground up in commercial property management, a downtown apartment with my name on the lease, and a routine that felt like proof I was doing something right with my life. I liked knowing where my money went. I liked tracking things, organizing them, making sense of chaos through spreadsheets and numbers. It made me feel in control. And for a while, I thought I had control over my relationship too. Ethan Lawson came into my life like momentum. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party 2 years ago. He was halfway through law school, sharp, confident, just a little worn down, in that way ambitious people get when they're constantly chasing something just out of reach. He talked about cases like they were stories, about the future like it was already waiting for him. I remember thinking, this man is going somewhere, and for reasons I didn't question at the time, I wanted to go there with him. The first year was easy. We were equals, or at least it felt that way. Dinner dates that turned into late-night conversations, weekend mornings with coffee and half-finished plans. He made me feel seen, like I wasn't just the woman who managed buildings and balanced budgets. I was someone he chose to come home to, so when he moved into my apartment 6 months ago, it didn't feel like a risk. It felt like progress, like we were building something real. What I didn't realize was that somewhere between progress and routine, I stopped being his partner and started becoming his provider. At first, it was subtle. I'll grab groceries this time. Don't worry about utilities. You focus on your exams. Then it became expected. Rent? Me. Electricity. Internet. Water? Me. Groceries. Takeout. Gas money? Me. His phone bill? His gym membership? Even his random, I need this for school expenses? All me. There was always a reason. Always a promise. I'll make it up to you after I pass the bar. I just need a little help right now. You know I'd do the same for you. And maybe that last one should have been the moment I paused. Because deep down, I knew he wouldn't. Still, I told myself this was temporary, an investment, a future we were building together. But the truth was, I was the only one building anything. And Ethan? He was getting comfortable. It wasn't just the money. It was the way he stopped asking, stopped thanking, stopped noticing. Like my support wasn't something I chose anymore. It was something he was entitled to. And then, Lila entered the picture. Or at least, that's what he told me. Study partner, he said. Same classes, same section, same schedule. According to Ethan, they needed each other to get through their final year. She had all the textbooks, better notes, a quieter space. On paper, it made sense. Law students study together. Long hours, intense pressure, shared material. It all lined up. But the timing didn't. Because Ethan didn't just go study. He disappeared. 3 nights a week at first. Then 4. Then sometimes more. Always leaving around 8 p.m. Always coming back at 2 in the morning. Sometimes later. Sometimes not at all. And it was always the same place. Lila's apartment. Never the library. Never campus. Never anywhere public. Never anywhere I could accidentally see. And the small things? Those were worse. His phone face down before he left. The way he smiled at texts he didn't show me. The way he got irritated when I entered the room while he was messaging someone. The first time I asked, he laughed. Actually laughed. Dawn, you're overthinking. So I dropped it, because I trusted him. The second time, I tried to be careful, gentle. I just think it's a little strange, I said, that you're gone so late, so often. That's when everything changed. He didn't laugh. He looked at me like I had just insulted him. You're being insecure, he said flatly. And just like that, the concern became my problem, not his behavior. Mine. You don't trust me? That question hung in the air like a trap, because there's only one correct answer in a relationship. So I said what I was supposed to say. Of course I trust you. But something inside me shifted. Not enough to act, just enough to notice. After that, I stopped asking. Or at least, I pretended to. Until last Tuesday. I was sitting on the couch, eating instant ramen for the third time that week, staring at the TV without actually watching it. Ethan stood by the door, backpack slung over one shoulder, scrolling through his phone like I wasn't even there. I'm heading to Lila's, he said casually. Don't wait up. I looked at the clock. 8:07 p.m. That's the third time this week. He didn't look up. We have exams, Dawn. This is what law school looks like. I set the bowl down slowly. Every night, though? That got his attention. Barely. What's that supposed to mean? It just means... I hesitated, choosing my words carefully. We have a table here. Good Wi-Fi. I can stay out of your way. Why not study here sometimes? He rolled his eyes. Not subtly. Not playfully. Like I was genuinely exhausting him. Here we go, he muttered. Another jealous speech. I'm not jealous. Really? He scoffed. Because it sounds like jealousy. It sounds like I'm asking a normal question, I said quietly. You're at another woman's apartment until 2 a.m. multiple nights a week. She's not another woman, he snapped. She's my study partner. Then let me meet her. That made him pause. Just for a second. But I saw it. Then he shook his head. No. You'd make it weird. How would I make it weird? By acting like this, he said, gesturing at me. By turning it into something it's not. Asking to meet someone you spend more time with than me is weird? Yes, he said sharply. Because you clearly don't trust me. There it was again. That word. Trust. Weaponized. Twisted. Turned against me. Silence filled the room. Heavy. Pressing. I looked at him. Really looked this time. The way he stood there. Already halfway out the door. The way his attention was still split between me and whatever was lighting up his phone. The complete lack of concern in his eyes. Like my feelings weren't just unimportant. They were inconvenient. And in that moment, something inside me went quiet. Not shattered. Not broken. Just still. Like a switch flipped. You're right, I said. He blinked. What? You're right, I repeated. I won't ask again. He studied my face, suspicious, like he was waiting for the catch. But I didn't give him one. After a second, he shrugged. Good, he said. Finally. He stepped closer, pressed a quick kiss to my cheek, detached, automatic, and turned toward the door. Don't wait up. The door closed behind him, and for a long moment, I just stood there, listening to the silence he left behind. Then I walked to the window and watched his car disappear down the street. The car I helped him buy. The down payment I covered. The life I funded. And suddenly, everything made sense. Not in pieces. All at once. Like a puzzle clicking into place so fast it almost hurt. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel sad. I felt clear. Cold. Sharp clarity. The kind that doesn't ask questions. The kind that finds answers. I turned away from the window, picked up my phone, scrolled to a name I hadn't thought about in months, and hit call. Because for the first time in a long time, I wasn't looking for reassurance. I was looking for the truth. Garrett picked up on the second ring. Dawn, everything okay? Yeah, I said, keeping my voice steady. Quick question. Do you know an Ethan Lawson in the law program? Section B? A pause. Keyboard clicking in the background. Yeah, I've seen his name. Why? He mentioned a study partner, Lila Moreno. Same section. You ever seen that name? Another pause. Longer this time. No. My grip tightened on the phone. Can you check? More typing. Faster now. Okay. I'm in the roster. Section B. Scrolling. No Lila Moreno. Not even close. My stomach dropped, but my voice didn't. Maybe another section? Hold on. Searching the whole system. A few seconds passed. There is a Lila Moreno, but she's not in law school. Not even close. She graduated years ago. Business degree. She's not a student here. Silence filled my apartment again. But this time, it didn't feel confusing. It felt confirming. Thanks, Garrett, I said quietly. Dawn, what's going on? I just needed to verify something. I hung up before he could ask more. Then I sat there, perfectly still. No shaking, no crying, just processing. Every late night, every eye roll, every "you're insecure," every lie. It all rearranged itself into one simple truth. He wasn't studying. He was choosing her. Over and over again. And I had been paying for it. I walked to the kitchen, opened my laptop, and logged into the phone account. My account. Because of course it was. Scrolling through 3 months of call history felt like watching a confession unfold in numbers. One number repeated constantly. Texts all day. Calls at night. FaceTime sessions starting at midnight. Lasting until 2, sometimes 3 in the morning. No one studies like that. That's not exam prep. That's intimacy. I copied the number. Ran a reverse lookup. Lila Moreno. Then I went one step further. LinkedIn. Profile picture. Smiling. Confident. Marketing manager. Graduated 3 years ago. No law school, no classes, no shared section, no reason, zero reason, to be studying with my boyfriend. I leaned back in my chair, exhaled slowly, and for a brief moment, I waited for the anger. It didn't come. What came instead was something far more dangerous. Precision. He didn't deserve a confrontation. He didn't deserve a scene. Because a scene would give him something he hadn't earned. My emotion. No. What he deserved was consequences. Quiet ones. Permanent ones. Wednesday morning, Ethan walked in like nothing had happened. Yawning. Stretching. Long night, he muttered. I was already in the kitchen, making coffee. My coffee. My machine. My apartment. Rough study session? I asked. Yeah, he said, not even looking at me. Big exam coming up. I handed him the mug. Good luck, I said softly. He glanced at me, just for a second, like something felt off. But then he shrugged it away. Because liars don't expect the script to change. They expect you to keep playing your role. Heading to Lila's tonight, he added. Don't wait up. I smiled. I won't. That was the moment I decided. Not emotionally, logically. I was done. The next 2 days, I didn't argue, didn't question, didn't react. I observed, documented, prepared. Every item in the apartment? Mine. Lease. Mine. Furniture? Mine. I took photos, cataloged everything. Receipts, purchase dates, proof. Then came the spreadsheet. 6 months. Every dollar. Rent. Utilities. Groceries. His gym membership. His phone bill. Gas money. The $3,000 down payment for his car. The $200 laptop. Even the stupid little things. Coffee runs. Takeout. Impulse buys. Line by line. Date by date. Total at the bottom. $1,200. I stared at that number for a long time. Not because I wanted it back, but because I needed to see it. Needed to understand the cost of ignoring reality. Thursday night, he didn't come home. At 2:47 a.m., my phone buzzed. Ethan. Fell asleep studying. Crashing at Mia's. Love you. Mia. His safe alibi. His backup story. I didn't hesitate. I texted her. Me. Hey, is Ethan okay? He said he's at your place. 3 minutes later. Mia. What? I haven't seen him all week. I screenshotted it. Saved it. Another piece of the truth. Another nail in the coffin. Friday morning, he walked in like nothing had happened. Hair damp. Wearing the same shirt from the night before. Sorry, he said casually. Study group ran late. Of course, I replied. No sarcasm, no tension. Just agreement. He blinked, confused. But again, not enough to question it. Big weekend ahead, he said. Lila thinks I need extra help. Probably gonna be there both days. The whole weekend. He didn't even try to hide it anymore. I nodded. Perfect timing, I said. I'm going out of town. His face lit up. Actually lit up. Like I'd just handed him freedom. Oh yeah? Yeah. Needed a break. That's good, he said, trying and failing to hide his excitement. You should relax. I plan to. And I did. Just not the way he thought. Saturday morning, I toured a new apartment. Clean. Quiet. Mine. By noon, I had signed the lease. Deposit paid. Keys in hand. Saturday afternoon, while he was at Lila's. I packed. Not in a rush. Not emotionally. Systematically. Clothes into suitcases. Electronics boxed. Personal items sorted. Labeled. Organized. I hired movers for the furniture. Because everything in that apartment was mine. One of them looked around halfway through loading the truck. Moving day? He asked. I paused, then said, something like that. He nodded. Didn't ask again. By Sunday morning, everything I owned was gone. The apartment looked like a shell, empty, echoing. Except for the things that were never really part of my life. His clothes, his books, his scattered mess of half-finished ambition. On the kitchen counter, I left two things. The spreadsheet, printed, highlighted, every dollar accounted for, and a note. Simple, clean, final. Ethan, your insecure girlfriend, moved out. The apartment is paid through the end of the month. After that, it's all yours. Or maybe Lila can help. Good luck on your exam, if it actually exists. Dawn P.S. Mia says hi. Sunday evening, my phone exploded. Calls, texts, voicemails, all at once. Where are you? What did you do? This isn't funny. Dawn, answer me right now. I read them, one by one. Then I typed a single reply. Busy building my future. Don't wait up. Then I blocked his number, set my phone down, and sat in my new apartment, on my couch, in complete silence. For the first time in months, it didn't feel empty. It felt peaceful. Monday morning, I woke up in my new apartment to silence. Not the heavy, suffocating kind I'd gotten used to. Real silence. No notifications lighting up at midnight. No passive-aggressive sighs. No feeling like I was sharing space with someone who wasn't really there. Just peace. I made coffee, stood by the window, and for the first time in months, I didn't feel like I was waiting for something to go wrong. Meanwhile, Ethan was unraveling. I didn't see it firsthand. I didn't need to. He made sure I heard about it. Even blocked, he found ways. Unknown numbers, emails, messages through social media, even a request through LinkedIn, which honestly would have been funny if it wasn't so predictable. The messages followed a pattern. At first, confusion. Dawn, what is going on? Why would you do this? Then denial. This is a misunderstanding. You're overreacting. Then anger. You're insane. You stole from me. I'm calling the police. I almost laughed at that one. Calling the police. On the woman who moved her own belongings out of her own apartment. But I didn't respond. Not once. Because silence? Silence is where accountability lives. And I was done shielding him from it. By Tuesday, he escalated. Family. His older sister, Piper, called me. Her voice was tight, controlled, like she'd been fed a version of the story that didn't quite sit right with her. Dawn, what happened? Ethan says you just left. Took everything. I took what I paid for, I said calmly. A pause. Everything? She asked. Yes. Another pause. He says you've been controlling, jealous, that you wouldn't let him have friends. I closed my eyes for a second, not out of pain, out of clarity. Ask him about Lila. Silence. His study partner, I added. What about her? She's not in law school, Piper. What? She graduated 3 years ago. Marketing degree. Works at a startup. She's not his classmate. She's not his study partner. The silence that followed was different this time. Heavier. Oh, Piper said quietly. Yeah, I replied. He told us. She started, then stopped. I know what he told you, I said. He told me the same thing. Another long pause. I'm sorry, she said finally. I didn't know. I believe you. And I did. Because unlike Ethan, her confusion felt real. Wednesday, he showed up at my office. I didn't see him. Security did. They called my extension. Ms. Booker, there's a man here insisting he knows you. Says his name is Ethan Lawson. I didn't hesitate. I don't know him. A pause. He's claiming he's your boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. Another pause. Understood. I walked to the window, watched as they escorted him out. He was yelling, gesturing wildly, mascara running from someone else's night. Not mine anymore. And for a brief second, I felt nothing. Not satisfaction. Not anger. Just distance. Like watching a storm from behind glass. Thursday. Something unexpected happened. I got a message from a woman named Colleen Carter. I didn't recognize the name until I opened it. Hi, I think we have a mutual problem. Attached were screenshots, dozens of them. Ethan, Lila, messages back and forth. Plans, excuses, late-night conversations that had nothing to do with studying. And then, it clicked. Colleen wasn't random. She was Lila's boyfriend, the one Ethan didn't know about. Or maybe he did, and just didn't care. According to Colleen, she'd been suspicious for weeks. Late-night absences, strange behavior, the same patterns I had seen, only from the other side. She told him to leave me, one message read. Ethan's reply. Relax. This is just fun. Don't make it complicated. I stared at that line longer than I expected, because in that moment, everything became painfully clear. I hadn't been replaced. I had been used. And so had she. Colleen sent more. Security footage. Lila entering and leaving Ethan's building. Overnight bags. Takeout. Not a single textbook in sight. Not once. Not ever. No studying. No exams. Just lies. What happened next spread faster than I expected. Colleen didn't stay quiet. She exposed everything. Mutual friends. Connections at the law school. Screenshots. Proof. Patterns. Within days, Ethan's reputation collapsed. Study groups dropped him. Classmates avoided him. Whispers followed him through hallways. Because in law school, your name is everything. And his was now tied to deception. Ironically, the exam he had been studying for every night, it was real. 40% of his final grade. He failed it. Completely. Worst score in the class. And the subject? Professional ethics. I remember staring at that detail when someone told me. Not because it was funny, but because it was fitting. He didn't just lie to me. He built his entire life around avoiding the truth. And eventually, that caught up to him. 3 months later, everything settled. Me? I was better. Not in a dramatic, revenge-driven way. Just steady. My apartment felt like mine again. My time felt like mine again. Work improved. I wasn't distracted anymore. I wasn't constantly wondering where someone was, or why they were acting different. I got a performance bonus, started investing again, rebuilt the parts of my life I had quietly put on hold. And then, I met someone. Not a replacement. Not a rebound. Just someone normal. Someone who showed up. Who paid for his own coffee. Who didn't make me feel like asking a question was a crime, and that alone felt unreal. Ethan? Not so much. He couldn't afford the apartment, had to move back in with his parents, failed more classes, delayed his graduation. And Lila? She disappeared. Because when consequences showed up, so did reality. She wasn't special. Neither was he. They were just convenient to each other. And convenience doesn't survive exposure. The last time I heard his name was from his father. We ran into each other at a hardware store. He looked tired, older, like disappointment had weight. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "We didn't raise him that way." I thought about everything for a moment. Then I said, "He knew exactly what he was doing." He nodded. Slowly. Painfully. "I believe that." We shook hands. And that was it. No closure talk. No dramatic ending. Just truth. Because in the end, this was never about revenge. It was about clarity. He called me insecure, jealous, difficult. But I wasn't any of those things. I was the only one willing to question something that didn't make sense. And when I finally stopped asking, I started seeing clearly, completely. And once you see the truth like that, you don't fight for the relationship. You walk away from it, quietly, completely, and you never look back.